I'm actually dog sitting for my brother.
Okay.
So I've got this little puppy Vishla here who's so stinking adorable. But anyways, okay, so you went to a funeral.
Yeah, my husband's grandmother passed away, so we just had that on Sunday, this past Sunday, and then we have another one on Friday night, this coming Friday. So
For your
the same
same
person.
person. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's been hard for you, but how,
Yeah, well, it's just been tiring. I'm just tired. That's all.
okay, so tell me how you're doing with the eating to hunger, eating with the freedom from shame, guilt, judgment, etc.
Yeah, that's been going very well. I have no complaints. It's just almost like it's just, I don't even really think about that stuff anymore.
Okay, that's a big freaking deal.
Yeah, it's,
So
it's just normal. It's just every day I eat
so
when I'm hungry and.
so basically you're going through a serious life. Get out of here. Sorry. A serious life stress. Would you say this is significantly stressful for you?
Well, yeah, it's very stressful just because it's not so much. Might sound not very nice, but it's not so much for my husband's grandmother. It's just a lot of emotions are coming up from my late husband's funeral and all that. So it's just triggering all those memories and stuff like that again.
And grieving.
Yeah.
Grieving loss.
Yeah.
Especially since your first husband, your late husband,
Yeah.
died. How long he was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, correct?
Stage 4 cancer, yeah, at the age of 35, and he died just before 40.
So he lived for 5 years after
Yeah.
being, and I'm sure it wasn't like amazing, right?
No, it wasn't amazing. It was fighting for his life, basically doing everything we could and going through natural things and homeopathic things and Western medical things. And
doing it all
together, yeah. So it was very draining emotionally and physically, and that's when I started reading lots of things about fear of certain foods, and we did a lot of juicing and basically became vegan for a while and just all that stuff.
You want to see the puppy?
Yeah.
You see him?
No, I can't. I don't know why.
What the heck? Hold on a second.
Why am I just looking at myself?
Hold on.
There we go.
Look
Much
it.
better. Oh,
Anyways, so normally I'm walking them right now, and so Potato in this is my brother's dog. I'm dog sitting. He is just like eating. I have paper research. He just is eating this. So I'm a little distracted.
Oh, it's a lot of work.
Okay, so
yeah, so just a lot of those emotions are coming up, but besides that, all the food stuff's going good.
Which is honestly, if you think about, just consider most of the food stuff you've had since you were a child, right? You were anorexic. You went. Your parents like put you in a clinic, correct?
Yeah, they took me to the doctor. Yeah.
So then you get this. You've probably had issues the whole time, but as soon as you're in fight or flight, real survival mode with your husband for 5 years, you can see where you trying to save. I mean, it's life or death. That's essentially where things. And how can that not remake things worse for you mentally with your eating disorder? Even though the eating disorder, wouldn't you agree, isn't necessarily based around, oh, I'll get sick. It's completely founded on, I want to be thin to be valuable, right?
Yeah.
If anything, would you say that you're researching anti-cancer through food, right?
Yeah.
That it gave you a reason to be anorexic again?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's
I felt like a bit of a control situation was there too, because I felt totally out of control when it came to saving my husband. I couldn't save him. So I almost feel like micromanaging my food was some kind of control that I can have over my life.
Oh, well, and safety. it's safety. Don't you agree when you say control? What you're essentially saying is I create a boundary of safety.
Yeah.
And it's if you believe it, right? If you believe what you're reading about food and the severity, all nothing mentality about it, right? Like one bite is as bad as the whole bag type of thinking. Yeah. If you actually believe it, that becomes part of your security. So if you have a bite, how does it feel? Like you're insecure, equally insecure.
Yeah.
So now, how long has it been since your husband passed away? Your late husband died.
It's been about 5 years.
It's been 5 years. Now you're remarried.
Yeah.
And you're going, and it's bringing up all these emotions. And tell me, is that affecting you with food at all? Because conditioning would say that you should be getting really strict with your food right now, because this is bringing up the hardship and the trauma of his death.
Not at all. It's really not. Like, I went to the funeral and there was all kinds of food there. You know how it is at the reception, and I didn't even have anything at all. It was just
because there was no interest, or it was because you were trying to control yourself.
No, I had absolutely no interest. I had eaten and I just wasn't hungry. There was no interest, and there was stuff that I would binge on. Oh, Henry chocolate bars. Okay, I had full O. Henry chocolate bars there.
Okay.
And I didn't even touch it. Like, there was no interest whatsoever.
Would you have entitled yourself before to eating all of that, or hidden it, or said I can't have it?
I would have taken some home.
You're taking some home. Tell me. So I have to ask the question. It's been a couple of weeks. Every week you continue to eat this way. Do you feel that same sense of freedom, that same sense of liberation? You've been liberated. Do you feel that?
I feel that.
Is there any way you could go back to binging and dieting in any way?
The way I feel right now, no. But I know that if I start to want to lose weight, that might happen.
That's the ticket.
Right? Yeah.
That's the ticket. That as soon as you decide I'm going to lose some weight, you are in trouble.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because the eating disorder, right, and the disordered eating, and the orthorexia, right, all was founded on looking thin, being thin, the model thin, right, and using food to control, food manipulation, correct, to secure the thin body, which housed health, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to continue to repeat the same thing over and over again, even though it's kind of a big deal. I mean, is it getting clearer to you? Like, it's very clear to you that you are completely not disordered. You don't have a mental problem. You don't have a psychological issue.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you did, it wouldn't matter, correct? Whether you were going to diet or not, you'd still have these obsessive compulsions with dieting and binging, whether you were... Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes total sense.
So without the need to lose weight, you have no psychological issues in terms of eating disorder or issues with food, dysfunctional eating with food. Am I right or wrong?
You're right.
Okay. So you are now in a very stressful environment. And on top of this, tell me how your daughter is doing, your 9-year-old who you found hiding and binging food and crying and feeling so afraid that you're going to judge her, right? Because you taught her that candy and sugar equals cancer and death, correct?
Yes.
So for her, it's not I have to be thin to get mommy's approval and for the society to like me. It's I can't eat this food because I'm going to get cancer.
Yeah.
So I'll never eat it again. I'll eat it this once. I'll never eat it again. That's more than likely how she's thinking, right?
Yeah.
Because she believed that sugar causes cancer.
Yeah.
Okay. So with that said, tell me, how has she been doing? And I did tell, and I remember we'd said last, make sure that when she goes to reach for the candy bowl that you don't sit there and go, are you hungry? And you said, oh my God, that's what I've been doing. It's like, let her do it and let her know that you trust her and you believe in her and you don't need to sit there and micromanage her. Like, she's totally capable. How's that been going?
It's been going good. I have the candy jar in the kitchen, so I haven't really seen her come in here getting the candy so much as I did when I first put it out. I haven't seen her binge. She was at the funeral with me, and she took a O. Henry bar and she opened it up and she had about maybe 3 or 4 bites, and she gave it to me and asked me to put it in my purse for later.
That right there makes my heart sing.
I know.
Like, I'm gonna freaking cry.
Not to have any emotion. All I said was, "Okay, honey, put it in my purse," and she still hasn't asked me for it.
But it's there.
It's there.
Don't get rid of it. In fact, offer it to her later. Would you like your candy? Is this something that you put it in the candy jar so she doesn't have to come to you for
it?
Yes, you are not the gatekeeper anymore. So put it in the jar. Can you do that?
This morning, I finally told her that I had this eating disorder and that Mommy made so many mistakes in the last 9 years of her life. So she was like almost in tears, feeling empathetic for me.
Oh my God, do you know what that just releases her? It releases her from taking you credibly when it comes to this.
Yeah.
It makes all of that crazy go away. This is so healing.
Yeah. I basically told her that I was crazy when she was born, and I explained to her everything that happened, and she obviously knows everything that happened.
And can understand it, correct. Can have compassion for it.
Yeah. So I finally told her that this morning, so that went well. So we'll see.
I just seriously, that just makes this worth it. No, you don't matter. It's your child I'm trying to talk to.
I know. Hey, she's more important to me than myself. So
Awesome. Okay, so where do we go from here? Tell me how you're doing with. I have in my notes. Can you accept this body for the rest of your life? Going to the beach, going on vacation, family celebration.
When I look at the very big picture in my life, yes.
I know, right? Like, this is it. This is the worst thing ever, really?
Yeah. I have to actually sit down. Like, when I'm looking at myself in the mirror, I actually have to look at myself and think, okay, the big picture of my life, I'm happy with so many things that I have. My children, my health. So can I accept the way I look? For sure. And be
unconditional, really. Can you go to the beach and say, hey, I really like wearing 2 pieces. I'm going to wear one.
Oh, yeah. I'm not buying 1 piece.
I was going to say, in the body you're wearing. And just be like, and I'm comfortable, and it doesn't matter what anybody thinks.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And around your husband, he doesn't care.
No.
I know. Where do you get stuck? Let's just say, let's create a scenario. Let's say you and your husband are going to renew your vows. Okay. And you're actually going to have a party, and you're going to get a renewal wedding dress. How do you feel about your body right now in that dress? Could you do it?
Oh, yeah. I could do it.
And feel so good. And feel, okay.
For sure.
How about going on vacation? Let's say you're going to go to Hawaii or to the Caribbean and celebrating.
Yeah, I can. I just have to get some stuff that are a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, okay. So to where it's like you would rather stay in this body if it means that you don't ever have to go back into the suffering of starving yourself.
Yeah.
For what that illusion, right?
Yeah.
What would it take for you to want to lose weight? Do you know what it is? Besides 200 pounds, remember, because you accepted up to 200 pounds.
Yeah.
What?
I don't think I'm close to that yet.
Well, do you feel like you're gaining right now? Considering that you're no longer binging.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gaining. Like, I mean, I was binging before we, started working together. So my clothes are still as tight as they were when I was binging, So I don't think I've gained any weight since then.
Are you still giving yourself, how are you doing with the variability in your foods?
Sorry, I can't really hear you. Are you able to put your volume up?
Hold on, let me move it. I wonder if...
It's hard to hear you.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Okay, we were talking about the struggle of... Oh! I said, okay, so can you imagine your life never dieting again? Never having to lose weight? And you said, I hope so.
Right.
And then I said, no, really think about it. I mean, you give yourself another 20 pounds, add more weight onto you, and see yourself with your kids, your grandkids, winning the lottery, getting married, going to the beach. Like, go through all the scenarios where you're going to feel tempted to lose weight.
Right.
Let's just say all of your friends are dieting and trying to lose weight, and they all lose weight, and they're like, look at me and my cute little outfit. Look at my waist. It's like so much smaller than yours. How's that going to feel? Right? And I said, okay, I want you to see, like, go through it in your head. And is there anything that would make you vulnerable to saying, I'm going to go on a diet. I'm going to try to lose this weight. Right?
Right.
And you said, what did you say? And I was like, you're such a politician.
Oh, I said I shouldn't,
right? You're like, there's nothing really. I shouldn't have anything that would make me. And I'm like, oh my God, commit. And then you started opening up, and I was like, oh my God, I got to get this on camera. So you were saying that the hardest times for you are when you put on these clothes that you were wearing and that fit you and were baggy 6 months ago, right?
Yeah. And now they're too tight for me even to walk out of my house in.
Okay, and what did you say?
I said, so when I put it on and it's too tight, I just remember what I negotiated with my body. It's like I negotiated 200 pounds, so I take off the skirt and put something that's comfortable on.
Yeah, I want you to, and I was just about to say, so what you're doing, right, is you're saying, okay, I have to remember that I have given myself this lenience with food up to 200 pounds. So I have to remind myself that that's what we negotiated, that's what I agreed upon, so I'm going to put those clothes away and I'm going to try to forget about it.
Yeah.
There's another side to this that you might not have considered. Did you ever think that maybe those clothes what did it take for you to have a body that fit into those clothes?
To me to kind of starve myself.
Say it again. What did it take?
It took me to starve myself.
So have you ever considered that those clothes fit a starved body?
Never thought about that.
I know. So when you rethink this, should you have to convince yourself that it's okay to be the size you are now?
No, I shouldn't have to convince myself.
Yeah, because you're doing that relative to your very starved body.
Yeah, true.
Get out. How does that make you feel about those clothes that you keep on thinking are the best ideal size ever?
I don't know. It's like I don't know.
Because you're holding those clothes as if they're the ideal, like you have to get there. However, the way you got there was through literal starvation, correct?
Yeah.
So what is the ideal body if you don't starve. What size is that body?
I shouldn't care, should I? What that size is.
Well, you should want to know.
Yeah, I don't.
You can let go of those clothes. You can actually give them away. Because honestly, what they represent is an anorexic, tiny little body that is that has mental problems.
Yeah.
So is there any possible way for you to fit back into those clothes? If the way you got there was through starvation, is there any possible means to get there?
No, because I don't want to go back to what I did to get into those clothes.
Okay, so when do you erase that as the standard? Which, does it make sense for you to feel bad about your body relative to that expectation?
No.
So when you put those clothes on and they don't fit, you tell me, why would that feel bad? To where you have to talk yourself out of feeling bad?
I guess I might still be holding on to that possibility, right? Because why else would I do that or think that way?
Mm-hmm. It's like that is the safety of that body. Remember, that body represents safety from cancer, safety from all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, and now it's like I'm getting into this new, everything's new right now for me.
Mm-hmm. You know what this is like? I'm going to compare it to, let me just, I have a similar thing. I grew up crazy athletic, like physical capability. I could jump. I'm 5'9.5". I could actually jump and grab the rim of a basketball hoop.
Wow.
I did. So I played college volleyball. I did track and field. I loved it. I was the heptathlete, so I did all 7. I'm like crazy talented. And I have in my memory, like, my PRs. I know how high I could jump, how far I could throw. I know how much I could squat. You know how I could squat so much friggin' weight?
How much can you squat?
I have no idea right now. Not very much, because I have so much physical problems. Not because of my athletic competition, but because of my exercise bulimia. Okay, because once you need exercise to burn calories, you're going to focus on a very limited movement pattern to burn as many calories as you can. So I would be on a step mill for over an hour on level 12. I would be on a Stairmaster for an hour and 20 minutes trying to burn over 1,200 calories. That's what caused the damage. Anyways, could you imagine if I honestly held myself to the standard of being able to squat close to 300 pounds 3 times? Because that was what I did. That was my strongest. That was my 3 rep max when I was at my strongest. Was like close to 300 pounds. What if I held myself to that standard today? Well, do you know how much work it would take for me to maintain that type of strength? Or what if I decided, I should be able to grab the hoop of a basketball rim. I should be able to grab the rim of a basketball hoop today with a 3-step approach. Could you imagine? Because I used to do that. Right?
Yeah.
But it required, right? You could say that was a natural ability that required training, a lot of training.
Yeah.
Right? without the training, I'm not going to be able to grab that rim. I'm not going to be able to do 300 pounds squatting.
Right.
I'm not going to be able to do what I used to do when I had all the time in the world, when I didn't have children, when, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So those skinny jeans that you are continuing to put on, they required that you obsess and starve, that you obsess. Like,
and I put a lot of time, effort into that.
It wasn't just like, you know, just reducing starches. It was obsession to where you had to carry your little, you know, a bag to every restaurant so that you could use your own controlled salad dressings.
Yeah.
So you need to see that and say, okay, that's relative. So these genes were relative to this much obsession.
Yeah.
Right? That's like me saying my ability physically required I have no children, that I have all of this training, and that right? You see?
Yeah.
So now I don't feel bad about myself, because why would I hold myself to the standard of a college athlete?
Right.
Okay? Do you see the parallels there?
I do.
You're going to need to really, really focus in that, because I think that, am I right? That's why you're having this issue, is because you really wish to get back to that.
Yeah.
And you're not recognizing it wasn't even real. It wasn't authentic at all.
Yeah.
So can you accept your body authentically? Right?
Yeah.
And that's how you're living right now, right? You're living right now in this state. No issues with binging, no issues at all with food. No issues with body image, actually. If you really think about it, the only part left is that you keep on thinking that that body has to be attained for you to feel calm and safe.
Yeah.
When in reality,
I thought about it that way before.
Well, in reality, was that body calm and safe?
No, it wasn't calm at all.
What did it feel like?
A lot of pressure. A lot of pressure to still wear those clothes.
When you were wearing those clothes, how did it feel? How did you feel? Did it feel calm and safe when you put those clothes on?
No.
And they fit? What did it feel like just to get there?
I felt like I was trying to hold on to some kind of control that I never had.
Did it feel powerful? Did you feel like... I know for me, I felt an insane amount of control, self-control. Like I had power over my own body.
Yeah, like the control, yeah. Yeah, I had power over what I could put in my mouth.
And self-control, right? Like you could starve yourself, and it felt, give me my shoe. Give me my shoe. Sorry. I can't get away from it. I'm sorry. If you could, someone said you can have that body again, but it's going to require that you do all that work again, would you do it?
No, that was way too tiring, and it took too much out of me, and it made me not a very nice person.
No, it's not. No, I would agree too. Right?
Yeah.
Would be like, again, it's like someone saying, Robin, would you like to be able to squat that much and do all that?
No, and then I think about my daughter. She'd see all that stuff.
No, of course. There were unintended consequences. Get away! Get away! Okay. All right, we'll go into that. I think you might need to burn all those clothes or give them away.
Yeah. Getting rid of my past.
Yeah, I think so. And well, really getting rid of the like the need to have it. And getting rid of this like comparison to it as if that's supposed to be what you have to have. That skinny thin body required insanity. So to say, well, I hope I could have that body without the insanity is insane in itself.
Yeah, and look, I looked back at some pictures of how I looked. I wasn't that pretty. It's very, very phony. Like, I didn't look right.
Well, when you see those pictures, what you're probably seeing is the insanity in the picture. You're looking at that and going, oh man, that was a sad, sad girl.
I was sick, yeah.
Not doing well. Not okay. Not okay. So if you were to let your body be itself, what should you look like? What size of jeans should you be wearing?
See, I have no idea because I've never allowed my body to be itself.
Okay, well, that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. You're going to continue, but for you to not feel that need to diet, you're going to have to get rid of the body you used to have when you dieted. You cannot expect or have that as a requirement. You have to erase it and start over with, okay, body, how are you supposed to look? And you know what? That's good enough for me. I'm grateful to have you. Thank you for keeping me alive.
Yeah.
Right?
So all those times that I binged, is my body still having the after effect of that? Yes? How long does that take?
Who knows?
Everybody, right?
Who knows? Does it really matter? Because if it's damaged, it's done.
And that's another thing that when I think back, I get all upset with myself. Like, how could you have done that to yourself?
Well, where's the compassion? Well, you understand it. It's because you were obsessed over those skinny jeans.
Yeah. Which I have to get rid of. Yeah.
Just give them away. How would it feel to be able to just take all those clothes and just be like, I don't, even if I naturally, organically, unconsciously, my body lost weight. Do you want those clothes?
No, because they reflect how I used to think and what I used to do.
Yeah, and the motives you used to have, which were, they weren't in line with integrity, with your true integrity. They were in line with the cultural integrity of thin idealism.
Yeah.
So they really do represent something that has been a lesson for you. The lesson has the lesson been learned. So if you were to, let's just say naturally, don't expect it and don't hope for it, but even if you did naturally, without trying, without effort, without wanting it, lost that weight, how would you dress yourself in clothing with this newfound authentic? I don't know what I'm saying.
I get what you're
Authentic.
saying.
Ism. Is that even a word?
I don't know.
You guys can make fun. I don't care. Authentism. Right? It wouldn't be so egoic, would it? Wouldn't be, look at my waist. It's smaller than yours.
I know, isn't that awful?
Yeah, women do it to each other. It's disgusting, but honestly, we wouldn't do it if we knew what we were doing.
Yeah.
All right. This was worth it.